It's another video from Ozzy's Robot. Brought to you by the Banana Collection.
Boopy doodly doo bum bum ba 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 ba. Hey everyone, welcome back and come on in. It's the greatest time in Western civilization post-war. Tin toys from Japan, especially when they're robots. And what do we have here, Andrew?
Robot Riddle?
Well, no. What is this?
Well, that's the mighty robot.
Yes, it is the apex, the pinnacle of Japanese culture and achievement in tin toys, the robots. Would you say the robots are their pinnacle? That's what I'm trying to get at here.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I would make an argument for the space vehicles, though. Some space vehicles have robots in them, so you get a twofer. But anyway, before we continue, if it's morning where you're at, grab your steaming, delicious, sweltering cup of coffee, stir it, clank it. Focus now, pay attention, grab a snack as I plod through this disgusting tea that's probably, I don't know how old for McDonald's. I saw this disgusting video of the ice machines. Now, I don't know if they do this to freak you out, but they showed this absolutely atrocious mold in the ice machine.
Yeah.
It was so foul. And now I always have that trepidation when I'm getting ice out of any public ice machine at these restaurants. Like, oh my God, is there mold in there? How do we know? How do we know? Who's cleaning it anyway? But on the brighter side, we do have a robot riddle. So are you prepared? That's
Yes.
you. Okay, you can put your phone away now. All right, why do bees hum? And by the way, while you're pondering, this is Wednesday's You Pick It video number 2. So the person that actually is going to get a twofer, speaking of twofers, because he asked for 2, so he gets 2. And I will honor all the requests, and we had 3 totals. So this is the second of 3, and Friday we will conclude with the Fujimara Batmobile. But anyway, so you know why bees hum?
Because they're humble.
Because they can. All right, the answer is, boy, this is a sad-looking robot, man. I really wish I could have talked to those designers. Because they don't know the words. That was good. You get it? They hum, like hum a tune.
I just don't get it. Why can't you put anything for that? Why bees?
Because bees hum when they fly, right?
Well, I could say they buzz when they fly. I heard of a bumblebee. I never heard of a... Well, I guess that's it, right? No, a bumblebee, not a humblebee.
They hum. They hum when they fly. You could hear. See, remember, this is made in China.
So?
The riddle masters. You lack the nuance in these riddles, I think. Anyway, so I'm going to probably link to the Robot Hut. He had a video. Now, I think we just passed Red Robot Week. So I could have actually picked this for Red Robot Week, but consider this bleeding off of Red Robot Week. I have other Red Robots, but I normally don't go deep into the cases, so if this wasn't requested, I never would have moved stuff out of the way. But first of all, let's look at the box. In retrospect, I don't really see this box too often, and when I look at it, my first impression was, this is just a typical Cragston style box, where it just has the font, the name, and it's a white background. But, it does have the blue to break it up. So that's the difference between this and a regular, just plain old Cragston. And then also the other, there are some plain Yonezawa boxes like the Jupiter robot, right? Super valuable toy that almost sold for $40,000 again. After nearly 25 years from Griffith Auctions. So that was a nice milestone to reach again. But anyway, so it's in, this box is in actually really good shape. And it's not incredibly rare, but I don't see it as often as I see the robot for sure. So I like the illustration. I sort of like this two-tone effect because it kind of, the white is surrounding him, which almost gives him like a glowing effect. And I do like the eyes that have a pupil. And at first I said, no, he doesn't have pupils, but actually he does, as you'll see when I go back to the robot. And he's just kind of like walking, looks like he's exercising. Here's the actual side panel, and you got, I don't know if this is fading or, yeah, we'll have to look. This looks almost more like a print issue because it's just completely square all the way. And here's the end panel. Boy, that does look faded. So, but again, it might just be a symptom of the printing process. You don't have it on this side. And then at the end panel here, it looks nice and colorful. And the other thing I will show you is this box is not only is it very crisp and straight, it also has the original insert. And I love the original inserts because they're cut out and shaped to the to hold the robot in, obviously, or the toy if it's not a robot. So it's nice to have those as well. So this is kind of square as a brick. Now you notice these punctures back here. And why do you think they have the punctures? It's because the wind-up key is hitting it. They didn't take into account or put anything to protect the box because, quite honestly, I don't think they cared. You know, you think they cared that, like, hey, you know, these toys were not meant to last, certainly not 60, 70 years. And I don't think they cared if the back of the cardboard box got a little hole. And, you know, here is your key. So, yes, this would kind of cut right through. And it's actually kind of sharp. So, as for the toy, like I was saying before, you do have pupils in here, which is actually really cool. I kind of never paid attention to it. So when I saw it on the box, I'm like, does he actually have pupils? And yeah, he does have the pupils. And now there is the other version that has this slide key. I was always told, not told, but other collectors mentioned they feel that the key in the back, the wind-up key, is a little bit more rare and more desirable. I agree that it's more desirable because I've had it with the key on the side and it just kind of like gets in the way. It just doesn't look as nice and clean. Now the head is plastic here. So this is all plastic. The arms are plastic, although these shoulders are tin and the legs and feet are tin. Here's the bottom feet. And over here is your stop and go, though it says stop and start, not stop and go. So let's give him a wind. I do, by the way, like these ears here. It has kind of to me, a loose connection to the like Moon Explorer and Missile Man, just the design, these layered, tiered squares here. I don't know if they're coming up on the camera. You can see there. So, all right, let's wind them up and see if he actually does anything. I'm not going to overwind him because it doesn't take much. What do you think, Andrew?
It's pretty simple, but nice.
Not walking, though.
I'll walk a little bit. There we go. Fine.
Encourage him to walk. This thing probably hasn't been wound up in God knows how long. Let me try it one more time. Put him on stop. Actually, let me see if I can unwind it. There you go. Here's the feet movement. And this clicking sound. The clicking is actually hitting his head. See that? He's giving himself a concussion. All right, one more time. Could be that there's too much weight on the actual toy. Now, this is one of the larger wind-up robots. Other than like the Diamond Planet, this is probably one of the biggest ones they made. That could be one of the reasons that it's too weighty for this to propel it. Shit in his head. Why? It's he's kind of an Italian robot, you know, because he's got those expressive hands. Mamma mia! Why? Why? Even his hands are like the Italian shape.
It's
Why?
like a digger to me. Like gonna dig something.
He does, but that's still the Italian. Should we have his... Yeah, I have his hands close to his head. That's when Grandma used to yell at me. She'd have her hands like, why? Anyway.
Yeah, it's a shame the hands don't go up and down like that.
Yeah. You know, but that's a look at your mechanical mighty robot by Yonezawa. Not super common and not as common with the wind-up key in the back. Nice little details, by the way, here, which I didn't really mention. And before I sign off, this is sort of embossed here, or it's raised, which is a nice three-dimensional effect. If you like it, please thumb up the video. I said I will link to John. So in the description, you can see the Robothut video on this. I don't know if this, I think it was a repair. It probably had to have been. And if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Let me know what you think of this toy, the box. And with that, my friends, thanks as always for your time. And I will talk to you later.